Hello Drift fans and welcome to round 3 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship. I'm Jared Dienda. We're here at Road Atlanta. We're not only celebrating round 3, but also 15 years of Formula Drift competition. It all began in 2004. If you think back, the cars now are much faster. The drivers, more precision. The fans, wilder, and the crowds, bigger. So thank you to all the fans, drivers, and everybody involved for celebrating with us here at Road Atlanta. Now here in 2018, our 3 points leaders are still in it. We're talking about the top 16. We're talking about James Dean, Frederick Osbo, Chris Forsberg. But before the sun sets and the lights turn on, I throw it to my co-host, Ryan Sage.
All right, well, thank you, Jared. I am down here at the infamous Road Atlanta track where we've been coming for 15 years. Not only a fan favorite, but a driver favorite, and for good reason. It's high speed, it's committed, and you really have to get the initiation set up appropriately for this first inside clip before you head back up the hill, drop a gear, smash the throttle, hit that second inside clip, and then that last inside clip, which serves as the first, through the finish line. If you can do that, you will be a competitive driver here at this historic racetrack. But we also want to get a look into the driver's head about what they think about this track here at Road Atlanta.
This is probably the track with the biggest spread in lap times between the strong guys and the not so strong guys. And you got to have a setup that can cope with any of these guys out there on track. And that's just really hard to do.
You can go in here and push 120%, and the worst thing that's going to happen is you end up in a gravel trap. So there isn't that same danger element as other tracks, but it's a lot of fun to drive. But for me, I don't get the same buzz as you get from doing a lead run in a track like Long Beach or Irwindale, where you're playing with fire with those walls. So that's my personal feeling on the track.
And then we have to run top 32 during the day, but then top 16 and on into the night, Saturday night. And so the conditions change, the track gripens up, and the temps come down, so the cars start making more power. So everything starts changing a lot. And with the absence of Friday night practice, we lose a lot of that data going into the top 16 competition. So you really see the teams that have their package dialed and the most universal that can adapt to those settings and come out with a win.
Drifting is the only motorsport in the world that is based on judging, so let's break down how that works. In head-to-head battles, the lead driver is supposed to run a specific judging line with as much angle as possible. The lead driver is setting the pace, but the chase driver is supposed to utilize the lead driver as a moving clipping point. Wherever the lead goes, the chase should go too. After 2 runs with each driver leading once, the driver that was the most consistent, most aggressive, and was able to show clear dominance over the other driver will win the matchup. For rules, criteria, and more information on Formula Drift, head to www.formulad.com.
Here it is, Ryan. This is the top 16. These are the drivers that are celebrating 15 years here at Formula Drift, and we kick things off with 2 veterans of the sport, Justin Pollock, who came in just after year 1, and then Ken Gucci, who we've just seen grow up in front of our eyes, and now he qualified 17th. Justin Pollock qualified number 1.
Here we go. Both drivers leave the chicane, now down this long straight. Justin Pollock getting ready for initiation.
Justin Pollock throws it, and you see him a little bit shimmying there into that first front clip, 98.9 miles per hour.
Incredible speed now coming up the hill. You can see right there that Ken Gucci looking for an opportunity to attack. Back on throttle is Pollock, and he goes in the dirt.
Yeah, you saw Justin Pollock throw up a little bit of dust, so that means he goes off track. He will not be deducted points for that, but how it reflects on the overall outcome, we're about to find out.
A little bit of separation here towards the end. A lot of horsepower being put down by both these vehicles. Here you can see a little tire drop right there by JTP, and it looks like a bump there from Ken Gucci.
Yeah, Ken Gucci, good thing for him. That's showing he has the horsepower. Now he's going to get the clean air with that 2JZ powered Toyota Racing Greddy Performance 86. Justin Pollock in tow.
Interesting approach here by Pollock, heading over to the other side of the track, and Ken Gucci initiates a little bit weird here, and some separation in that first corner.
Yeah, very different approach from both the drivers. Now powering up the hill is Ken Gucci. Justin Pollock trying to wrangle him in here into the horseshoe.
You can see right there a little bit of a shallower line from Ken Gucci on that outside zone. Pollock trying to navigate through the smoke here as both drivers transition, and Pollock attacks on the inside.
All right, so let's take a different perspective here. You see Justin Pollock trying to catch up to Ken Gucci. As I said, looked like Ken Gucci had the horsepower in the chase position, and here we go. Ken Gucci gets the win 2-1.
I knew I would have to go just right on his door from the entry all the way to the finish. But he made a slight mistake on outer zone 2 going off course, and I actually kind of bumped him because of that, but we ended up taking the win. The whole thing was kind of a blur, but we are in the grade A, so I'm really excited.
Formula Drift on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Black Magic. Own your shine. By Air Force. Aim high. And by the Formula Drift app. Download the FD app in the iOS or Android store now.
Welcome back to a crowded house here at this iconic track that is Road Atlanta. We are just entering our second battle as our fans are admitting a lot of things, and they're hungry. They're hungry for some more drifting. Here we go. Peter Visik on his sophomore season from Poland, going against originally from Lithuania, Odi Bakshis.
Well, number 8 and number 9 respectively here in qualifying. The light goes green, and through the chicane is Peter Visik.
Peter Visik, who got that victory, and Irwindale throws it in. Look at Odi Bakshis right there. Big angle from Peter Visik. He takes out that front clip, Ryan.
Well, Odi knew that he needed to stay close here, and he does at the beginning, but you can see the separation here. Now as we come up the hill, perfect job right there by Peter Visik getting to that second outer zone, and now both drivers transitioning down the hill.
Similar S chassis with that angle, but two different engine setups, and what they took out in the beginning, they take out in the end, Ryan.
Well, luckily that didn't get too stuck underneath Odi's front tire, but you can see here he's really pushing the pace, needing to be aggressive against this top driver in Peter Visik.
All right, so here we go. Odi Bakshis will be out front. Peter Visik in that chase position. I got to think Odi needs to throw it down here. He knows Peter Visik has become such a phenomenal chase driver.
Nice early initiation there by Odi, back on throttle through that first inside clip, but look at Peter Visik, unable to be shaken coming up the hill and matching angle with Odi Bak.
Peter Visik, the Candyman, is on the door of Odi Bakshis. And Ryan, you have to think up there in the keyhole, the horseshoe, regardless, whatever you want to call it. Look at that separation that's right in front of the judges.
Odi Bakshis getting some back in the eyes of the judges, most likely here on the second half of the battle. But look at up top here, Jared. You can see Peter Visik really pushing the pressure right through that second inside clip.
All right, you see them exchange some Falcon tire rubber, but right now it's all Peter Visik advancing on.
Judges decide that I go to the top 8. So thank you, Odi, for a very great battle, and yeah, fingers crossed for going through in the top 8 also.
Well, we just saw Peter Visik, one of 2 of the Wardhouse Drift teammates, and James Dean, our defending champion, going against an FD veteran, Ryan Turk. Ryan, qualifying 20th, James Dean, qualifying 4th, Ryan Turk.
Well, James Dean has some success at this course, but he's having trouble with the vehicle after that crash in Orlando. Let's see how it holds up against Turk.
Big, massive angle there from James Dean. Ryan Turk keeping good proximity, powering up the hill. Both these guys with 2 JZs. That means 4 JZs on track.
Well, here we go through that second inside clip. You can see very challenging coming out of the horseshoe. Got to get the timing right, stay out of the smoke line, and if you are in the smoke line, use your muscle memory.
You talk about that smoke, then you throw some light on it. It gets very thick, very difficult for the drivers to see. But right now, we are seeing some great drive from both these guys.
Well, you can see James Dean entering the horseshoe pretty deep into that zone here, but Ryan Turk holding pace.
Ryan Turk will now lead. Smoke has dissipated just a little bit. James Dean, he's going to try to break it down.
Nice early initiation there by Ryan Turk, but look at James Dean, the pressure on the inside through that first inside clip, and now going uphill. Look at this, Ryan Turk having a little bit of separation.
That seems where the separation happens for all the drivers, but the machine back on the door of that gum-out Toyota Racing Toyota 86 of Ryan Turk.
Now coming back down the hill, one more turn to go. Ryan Turk trying to give James Dean everything he's got, but James Dean unable to be shaken.
Well, that next entire smoke being thrown in the face of James Dean, you see him get out of that smoke trail, and he finds the side of Ryan Turk's gum-out Toyota Racing Toyota 86. Let's go to the judges. Who's moving on? Neither of them. They are going one more time, Ryan. Here we go. So James Dean will lead once again. Ryan Turk will give chase.
Really putting the cars through the paces here tonight. A long course, very hard on these vehicles. Here we go, the one more time battle. Nice early initiation by James Dean, and Ryan Turk with him through that first inside clip.
Dean with some big angle there. Ryan Turk cuts the corner. Looks like he gave himself a little bit of room there to gain that distance right as they enter into the horseshoe.
You can see Turk made a little mistake coming up the hill there, losing some angle. James Dean now through that horseshoe down the last inside clip here as we wrap around. But look at Ryan Turk, pressure is on.
Party on down, fellas. We are throwing down here under the lights of Road Atlanta. As we take a look at that instant replay, you can see Ryan Turk, again, avoiding that smoke trail, the smoke signal. Who's going to come out on top? Who's advancing on? Will James Dean join his Wardhouse Drift Team teammate, or is Ryan Turk going to party his way into the Grade 8?
Ryan Turk blasting out of the chicane. James Dean initiates before, but look at that, makes a little mistake there. Now he's back on it. Turk hits that inside clip, and the battle is underway.
Ryan Turk powering his way up into the horseshoe. James Dean now gets a lot closer to the side of the 86.
Great job by Turk filling that second outer zone. Now down the hill here. Look at James Dean. Door-to-door action. A ton of smoke on course as these guys are battling it out.
I'm getting pumped, and I know you are too, Ryan, as are all the fans. Two gladiators of the sport, some of the best-known drivers across the globe. Where is it going to go? Who is advancing on into the Great Eight? And it's a split decision. James Dean gets the win.
I think he missed an inside clip, and I think I won it based on my lead run. So it was very close, but we're moving on. Top 8.
Two very exciting drivers to watch. Christoph Blusch with a very fast car. Forrest Wang, he's added some more speed to his car and his signature big angle here. Christoph Blusch, who qualified 5th, going against Forrest Wang in that Vape Tasia Get Nuts Laboratory S15.
Well, Blusch is known for these great initiations right there. You can see very early and then back on throttle right through that first inside clip. And look at this, he starts pulling away from Forrest Wang.
That Eurofighter looks like it's pulling a wheelie as he enters into the horseshoe. Big angle, Achilles radial. Both these guys are on Achilles, and these things kick off a lot of smoke, Ryan.
Forrest Wang trying to put up a fight here, but you can see Blusch out front. Big angle, lots of smoke here as Forrest and Blusch cross the finish line.
Look at, they were close in proximity there in the horseshoe. They exit out. You see Blusch just power down the hill and back to where it all began. Here we go, Forrest Wang out front. He's gonna get the clean air, but Christoph Blusch, he's gonna get a face full of Achilles.
Here we go. Blusch trying to stay close to Forrest Wang. Good initiation there by Wang through that first inside clip. Back on the throttle, 97.9 miles per hour.
Wang looking a lot more comfortable up front. The car very settled as he enters. Oh, drops a tire, throws up a little brown cloud as he enters and exits out of the horseshoe.
Well, here we go down the hill here. Blusch keeping the pressure on. Nice angle out front by Forrest Wang. You can tell a ton of wheel speed there generating all that smoke.
As we take that bird's eye view, you can see Forrest Wang wraps it around. Christoph Blusch knocks it over. That is a reference point, not a clip as they exit. Going to the judges, Christoph Blusch gets the victory.
Everybody's pushing so hard, and that's where the mistakes appear. So whoever makes less mistakes, that wins.
Formula Drift on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Nexen Tire. Driving tomorrow. By Achilles Radio, tires you can trust. And by Falcon Tires.
We are knee-deep in some drifting action here in the top 16 as the action continues on, and we are eyeballs deep in some smoke as we see our next battle coming up on deck, and that is a Formula Drift veteran, Daijiro Yoshihara. He's been competing here since day one, 2004. He qualified 2nd. He's going against Matt Field, who's a fairly newcomer, but really making a name for himself, debuting this brand new Falcon Tires Corvette.
Well, here we go. Daijiro leaves the chicane. Matt Field sticking right to him through initiation. Both guys, early initiation, back on throttle as Dai through that first inside clip.
That turbocharged LS turn 14 BRZ of Yoshihara powering up the hill. Where did Matt Field go? Wow, he absolutely disappeared in that Falcon Tire smoke.
You can see just how challenging it is to drive through that plume of smoke as both drivers leave the horseshoe down this last section of the course, wrapping through that final inside clip.
Matt Field did a good job in the chase position, but you got to give credit where credit is due. Yoshihara putting it together. He qualified number 2, and you have to think, with all of his experience, 15 years of coming here to Road Atlanta, he has a little bit more of an advantage over some of the other drivers. Matt Field now out front. Yoshihara giving chase.
Close battle so far. Each driver trying to edge out the other. Field really fast down that hill. Snappy initiation. Back on throttle here. 99.1 miles per hour.
Near triple digits. Yoshihara shoring it up to gain that ground on Matt Field coming into the horseshoe. Really gets close to Matt Field now.
Dai pushing the pressure here on that second inside clip. Now coming back down the hill. Dai keeping the pressure on, but Matt Field really on the accelerator. Huge plume of smoke through the finish line.
Both these Falcon Tire shrouded vehicles. You can see Matt Field tight. Yoshihara drops a little bit of tire there. Let's go to the judges, Ryan. This is a tough one to call. And look at that. It is a split decision. Yoshihara gets the win.
It was a really good battle. You know, we both had actually, slight mistake. But, other than that, I was really stick into his door, like less of the track. So I guess that's the reason why I moved on. But I think it could have been one more time. It was a really tight battle. But, it is what it is. I'll take it.
Moving on to our next battle, 2 former champions, 4 championships between the 2 drivers. Michael Essa getting in 2013. It came down to that final battle, Irwindale, and now here they are doing battle against each other. Qualifying 7th and 10th, Chris out front.
Forsberg taking that wide line approach, and you can see snappy initiation in the chase by Michael Essa, but forces a mistake. Oh, and really going off course there. And look at this, Forsberg way out ahead.
Chris Forsberg putting it into the horseshoe. Michael Essa in the rearview mirror having some mistakes. And unfortunately for Essa, he'll have a disadvantage. Forsberg, some momentum coming out of Orlando with the most recent win at Orlando Speed World.
Well, Essa's got to be kicking himself here. That was pretty much a driver mistake on initiation there, and it just put him at a huge disadvantage, and now all the work has to be done in his lead run.
Yeah, you saw him throw it in there and then just shimmied his way into that first front clip. Here he goes. He's out front. Chris Forsberg gonna, I assume, play it a little bit safe here in that chase position.
Well, there we go. Nice start there by Michael Essa. Much better job there, 97.4 miles per hour. But as you said, Forsberg keeping it close, but also playing it a little bit conservative.
Yeah, definitely not an inactive chase by any means. Essa putting it together, but Ryan, we always say, is it too little too late?
Well, Forsberg there, a little bit of a mistake through the horseshoe, losing some angle here as Essa really trying to give it a go here through that last inside clip.
The smoke, it just seems to be growing and progressing over the years, and this year it seems to be thicker than ever. But Ryan, as we said, Essa making that big mistake on that first run, that's going to be the nail in the coffin. And there it is, it's official. Chris Forsberg gets the win.
He got left behind a bit, a couple car lengths, and so just a good solid chase. We're within inches or feet at the most through the keyhole, which was maybe a little more than we had to do. But the car is, it's feeling great, it's wound up, and so we're just putting it where it needs to be.
Formula Drift on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Black Magic. Own your shine. By NOS Energy Drink with Complex 6 for high performance energy and enhanced mental focus. And by Nitto Tire, fueled by enthusiasts.
Welcome back to a packed house here at Road Atlanta. 2 more battles left. And first up, we have Frederick Osbo, who had the victory in Long Beach. He's had some great success here over the years. Can he do it again? Can he take it to the top? He's got to go through Rad Dan Burkett. This is his second season here in the Formula Drift Championship.
Well, Osbo loves this track, but he hasn't had the greatest finishes here. Trying to get on the podium here for a second time. Let's see if he can do it at Road Atlanta.
We got to think he debuted this brand new Toyota Corolla. Dan Burkett gets a little loose in that chase position, Ryan.
And now way behind is Dan Burkett. Frederick Osbo out front with clean air, and Burkett playing catch up.
Yeah, Dan Burkett really struggling there in that beautiful looking Toyota Supra, but no matter how good the car looks, it's got to perform. And right now, Dan really struggling.
Well, Burkett did not get a good jump here. You can see from that first inside clip, really struggling there. And then Osbo, just so much grip and speed in that vehicle, Burkett could not catch up.
That 4-cylinder turbo hot hatchback of Frederick Osbo, both these guys on some Nexen tires, and Dan Burkett, he's got to throw down, Ryan.
Nice job by Burkett. Great initiation there. Back on throttle through that first inside clip. And you can see Osbo playing it a little bit safe here. Now closing the door where he has an opportunity as they head into the horseshoe.
You saw Dan Burkett use all the course past that first front clip, and that allowed Frederick Osbo to gain that ground and that proximity, and he has not let go. Here we go. Ryan, I think all signs are saying Osbo, the Norwegian Hammer, is going to get the win.
Osbo does enough in the chase position to not let Burkett get away, and obviously that big mistake by Burkett in run number 1 will be a deciding factor.
All right, let's go to the judges here. Again, one more battle left after this, and it's Frederick Osbo getting the win.
We stuck it to him on the chase, put down a pretty good lead run, and he wasn't able to match that here today.
Frederick Osbo advances on. Who's he going to be going against? Chelsea Denofa or Alec Honadell? Chelsea Denofa, we talk about all these sophomore seasons. Chelsea Denofa on his second season with the RTR team. That is him and Vaughn Gittin Jr. He's going against Alec Honadell. He's gained some new sponsorship, but he still has that aggressive personality and driving style.
Big initiation there by Denofa. Back on throttle early through that first inside clip. And here comes Honadell, keeping the pressure on up the hill. Very hard to do as they enter the horseshoe.
Look at the 3-wheel motion, the signature RTR move. Alec Honadell right there on the door of that BC Racing Nitto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR.
You can see these vehicles pretty evenly matched. It's really just coming down to which driver can find those little areas to get an advantage over the other.
It says Rain X on the door of Alex Field. He needs Smoke X right now because the Nitto tires are being thrown in his face. You can see him knocking over that front clip. Now Alec Honadell will be out front. He qualified 11th compared to the 6th position of Denofa.
Denofa trying to stay close to Honadell. Early initiation there. Honadel back on the throttle through that first inside clip, 97.7 miles per hour.
Transitioning are both the drivers, powering up the hill into the horseshoe, fitting that it's a Mustang. Oh, looks like Chelsea Denofa loses some angle. Honadel using all the course.
A noticeable mistake there from Chelsea Denofa. As you can see, Honadel out front doing a great job in the lead. Very smoky conditions here through this last inside clip and through the finish line.
Good job by both the guys. Denofa very aggressive in that chase position, has to back off a little bit, then regains the ground, gets the grip. Let's go to the judges. Who's moving on? And look at that, split decision once again, 2-1, Denofa wins.
It was pretty good. We ended up making it through. You know, the team's been working great. Every time they make the call on the setup, it's on point, and it's getting to be pretty wild out there.
Wild is an understatement. A lot of history here at Road Atlanta, and these 8 drivers are hopefully going to make history as we celebrate 15 years at this iconic track that is Road Atlanta. Join us on our next episode, the continuation here of round 3 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship.